assistance, then somebody like me steps in. Okay? It's mandatory that you go in there every Wednesday for your training. The registers are kept, attendances are kept. So, like that, the hospital, is kept addressed by everybody, including the ambulance technicians, including the cleaners. They all participate. It's the doctors and the nurses that do the ACLS, but the BLS, sorry, please. But the BLS is by everybody. Is it possible for such a simulator room to be designed or to be created in National Hospital, where a specific day in a week is set aside for training? Yes. Number two, the advocacy to increase the awareness and increase interest in anesthesia. Well, I hear we think outside the box, but I don't know if we have even finished thinking inside the box before going outside. Because I ask myself, the residents that we are training, how do we treat them? How do we encourage them? We really hear what's ailing them, what's their challenge. So all these, they matter as well. Okay? And finally, I think we need to redefine. I think the Nigerian Society of Anesthetists needs to come in here. We need to redefine the post-operative death, because my last recollection, maybe like if you see my hair, you will understand. My last recollection, maybe 200 years ago, was that we say 24 hours death, 24 hours after surgery is anesthetic death. So I don't know if that definition has changed, but we need to change it, because if the surgeon is the cause of the death, and 24 hours later you are saying if the anesthetist caused the death, then how are you going to encourage people to come into anesthesia to be blamed for death caused by somebody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, presenters and Dr. Shehu Usman Panda. My question goes to my comment goes to on your assessment of the interest in anesthesia training. If you look at your two studies, it would have been good if you have in the second study, because in the first study you made mention that if the posting duration is a factor in deciding whether to use anesthesia or not. And in your second study, you had the opportunity of having participants from different universities, even outside Nigeria. But I have experience when I went outside Nigeria. There's a country where I went. They do 3 months in anesthesia posting in medical school. You should have assessed in the second study if, and nicely, or it has indicated that the health officers have more interest in anesthesia than the medical student. We should have assessed if the duration of posting in their schools, especially those foreigners, should have been a factor in making that change. Thank you very much.
My name is Dr. Rani Sedifa. I'm there, so you get to my name. My question is for Dr. Olawoye. Is for Dr. Olawoye. Did you consider comparing the reasons for the higher interest in other specialties among these students to the reasons why these students don't have much interest in anesthesia? And do you think there are other reasons that might be responsible apart from the duration of exposure to anesthesia at undergraduate level? If doing advocacy and you were to give reasons you think things should be done about interest in anesthesia, what other things? Because you seem to be thinking about just the duration of the exposure, are there other things that we could bring out as reasons to make people interested in solving this problem?
Thank you very much, ma'am. I'm Dr. Daramola from General Hospital, Lagos. My first question is to Dr. Appel. Thank you for the presentation, Dr. Appel. I'm quite impressed with the regular training National Hospital Abuja gives for the BLS training. I just want to know if it's usually self-sponsored or whether the hospital pays for it, because down there in Lagos, if you have to go for BLS, it's 40K, and you sponsor yourself, or ACLS 80K. So for staffs, that amount of number of staffs to be attending the training, I want to know whether they have to pay by themselves or the hospital sponsors. Now, the second question is to Dr. Olaoye. Thank you again, sir, for the presentation. Well, I just want to agree with you that for anesthesia to get more manpower, it should actually be more interactive than the posting. Because I remember when I was as a medical student in Luth, anesthesia, I did 4 weeks posting in anesthesia, and it was still like a skeletal posting. Most times when we go to theater, we are told to stay near the wall, and we don't really understand what they do. So we just go there, sign our logbook, and off we go. So I think they should make it more interactive, maybe extend the duration. So I never had interest in anesthesia until as a medical officer. I didn't even know what they were doing. Thank you.
Thank you. So, the presenters, can you please take your questions? Perhaps we start with Dr. Olaoye. Appears most of the questions are directed at you. Do you have the microphone?
Thank you, Saz and Mas, for the interest in the study, the questions, and the comments. I'll just put them all together. Interest in anesthesia, advocacy for anesthesia is the summary of what we're talking about. And from the last comment, I think beyond duration of anesthesia, the posting is to make the anesthesia posting itself more interactive. You could think about use of simulation laboratories, videos and all that students can use, mannequins and all that they can use to see hands-on experience while they are doing their posting. The second thing is mentorship, and permit me to share my story. I schooled in ABU, posting anesthesia was 4 weeks, just like what you said. You know, we do our posting. In fact, many medical students use that period to travel, and they just come back close to the exam and read your notes and they pass. And so, got to just, I was working in a hospital as a medical officer. I'd done primaries in public health, and I passed, and I was looking for interview. So, luckily for me, the hospital where I was working, Canada Medical Center, was the anesthetist that covered that place was Professor Isamani. So she comes along. I was the medical officer preparing patients, and she called me in care, come and see the airway. And she would laryngoscope, come and see the airway. And we can talk and speak. I said, primary. Okay, so, and she told me, I will take you without primary. She was literally, I will bring you in without primary. And then interview came and said, Olaoye, you need to do anesthesia. This is mentorship. And she kept talking to me. Finally, I decided for anesthesia. And the interview, in fact, on the morning of the interview, we had a short procedure. She told me to sit down and said, Olaoye, if I ask you this question, how will you answer? And I answered. And she corrected me. And then the interview came and she asked me those same questions. So why won't I pass the interview? She took me and then she gave me her books. E.S. Apata, I remember, she gave me her books even when I came in, I didn't have money to, she gave me her books to start reading for primaries. Past primaries, national and West Africa, she told me, go for DA. Past DA, go for part 1. And kept pushing and kept pushing. And now I'm an anesthetist. So I'm an advocate for anesthesia residency training. And I push people, I keep talking to people. So beyond the postings is to mentor people. You see medical officers, what's your plan? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about for training? And you begin to interact with them and they see what you're doing. And one after the other, you can begin to see you have disciples, people that you are mentoring, and you get some of them interested in the training. Thank you very much. I don't know if I've covered because of my time. I think I'll just run it up here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Lawe. Dr. Efu, I don't think you have any questions directed at you. We need to keep strictly to time. Please make it a quick comment. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I don't have preparation, although I presented the first paper. Doesn't surprise me because very few people were here. Secondly, it's possible what I brought from Benue is not very interesting, but it's not a problem. I want to just a comment concerning the training. I've also done a study in Makodi, and I have a percentage close to what he has. So usually acceptance or choice of anesthesia is still below 10 compared to surgery, compared to ONG, compared to pediatric that are more glamorous. And people also think that is the way to, when you hold your shoulders and say, I am a surgeon, don't forget that we don't own patients, but surgeons do. And it's always a running battle, and we're used to it. It's a matter of like husband and wife, where no matter the quarrel, we still go ahead and work together. So those are some of the things. And the issue of the training, we have a model in Benue, and I want to commend my CMD. When he saw that there was a law, what he did was that he will employ casualty officers and say, within 6 months, pass primary in anesthesia, and I'll give you work. And that has happened, and we have about 7 or 8 of them training now. Thank you.
So I was just going to add, I'm a UK trained, still in training anaesthetist, and the problems that you're experiencing is very similar to what we're experiencing. And for me personally, again, like my story is very similar to yours, or the thing that drew me to anesthetics is not because I necessarily knew what was going on, but because I just generally found that anesthetists were really nice. I was like, who are these nice doctors? Of all the doctors I met, they always seemed to be the happiest, the ones that wanted to engage you in theatre when the surgeons were mean. And and then I met them in ICU, and I thought, who are these people that are really clever, really nice, really happy? I think something great is going on here. So, and a lot of people have talked about that. So I think a huge part of anesthetics and drawing people in might actually just be in our day-to-day interactions, how we treat people, how we display, how happy your registrars are, will help really to draw in the medical students and that, oh, there's something different here that the rest of the hospital doesn't have, and I want to be here.
Morning again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for your questions. I admit that those trainings were grossly inadequate for a hospital the size of National Hospital. But unfortunately or fortunately, the initiative actually took off just before the pandemic. The first training we had was in 2019. Shortly afterwards, there was lockdown, and it was a quite protracted period. So afterwards, we only resumed training this year, and this year alone we had we had 3 sessions just before the lockdown, and this year we have had about 2 sessions, and the hospital is making arrangements for more sessions. All the trainings are sponsored by the hospital, and when we resumed, they also made arrangements for face masks and other precautions against COVID. So I think that should answer your question, sir. Thank you very much.
Just to add a comment on that,
the hospital has actually told us to come up with a draft. They want BLS trainings to occur every month, maybe twice a month, or they actually are pushing for like one training every week. So we're working on that. I don't know how possible that would be. The anesthesia numbers are down. So Dr. Ifu, you have a question. Please, can you display his question on obstetric anesthesia? Please, quick answer.
Thank you. Okay, the question is, can we do more advocacy for obstetric anesthesia at ANC clinics and setting up of APEC like it's done in the Western world? I don't exactly know what APEC is. Maybe somebody can explain that. But I think that a lot of the times, the bigger presentation or the bigger paper that will be published through in the magazine has actually got you to find out how people get to know about labor analgesia. And I think mostly it's from medical people and from friends. Only very people read in the newspapers and all that. However, I think the two things. The first problem we have is that even if we do not have enough people who can administer this, who are not even available around the place, how do you even get to talk to people? Because if they do,